when you were opening the batting against some of the bowlers that we've just made mention, what was the primary thought in your mind?
Watch the ball.
That's it.
Yeah, watch the ball.
It wasn't about preservation. It wasn't about getting through the spell. It wasn't about scoring runs.
Yeah, rotate the strike. You do your best work at that end. Yeah. Rotate the strike, which comes back. A funny line from, we never had meetings in the bad old days. 74-5, when you come up against Thompson's, who's rapid, and there's Lilly and there's Walker. And so we had a bit of a team meeting, not a team meeting, a bit of a team meeting where the seniors thought the theory was that Thompson, with the action, goes across the... So therefore, we think the left-hander should take Thompson. I said, oh, that's me then, is it? Hey, that's me and John Edrick. I said, what about rotating the strike? To put him off. Because it always used to be that you have an opening partnership of a left-hander and a right-hander to disrupt his line. The opening bowler with a brand new ball, to disrupt that line with a right-hand and a left-hand batter, don't let him get into a rhythm. So I said, well, what about rotating the strike?
I think it was when Mitchell Johnson was going nuts at Adelaide when Graham Gooch said to the tail, you're just going to have to get in the line and play him better. And Stuart Broad went, you do it. Yeah. So those conversations happen. You said watch the ball before. You can't watch the ball at Tomo's speed.
No, because Tomo, so he's different. That you see, he only trotted in,
Yeah.
Big strapping lad with huge shoulders, athletic. And then the ball disappeared behind his body.
But
so you didn't see it. Where's it gone? So bowlers run up like they do whatever they do, and you've got a vision. But Jeff Thompson, boom, and so it's behind his body momentarily. And then, same with Murley coming out of there, your split second is bang, here it comes.
Sean Tate did that as well. He had that wind-up action, so the ball came from behind him. But when you say you're watching the ball when it came out, you can't watch Jeff Thompson's ball all the way through. So what you actually did...
Watching it from the hand.
Yeah, for the first 3 meters. And then you're looking where you think it's going to go and you're playing the shot from there.
So now you're into picking up length.
Yeah.
The great players pick up length. The great players have more time to play your 19. I wasn't in that category, so it became a bit of an ordeal. That sort of. But I come back to, if you achieve, you puff your chest out. I've done all right there. Yeah, I've done all right.
You get them to sign the bruises.
Ryan Close.
Well, I was going to ask you about that, but before I do, people often say trust your technique. Did you have the technique to be able to just do that? Or is that just a cliche? Is that true? Trust the technique at 95 miles an hour.
Yeah, I'd come back to that. It's you and him, and you do your best to come through it. And you come up short, they'll do you. They get you out because fast bowling pays the rent. Rapid fast bowling, it gets you results.
But also you're not going to face a normal county bowler in the same way you face Tomo, because you're not going to have the same amount of options because the ball's coming too quick. So Ross Taylor talks about like having 2 shots against a 90-mile-an-hour bowler. So if it's wide, he'll probably go through point, and if it's on the pads, he'll try and pick it up. The other shots he's not too worried about, right? Those are the 2 shots he has, and if the ball's in those areas, he'll hit boundaries because the ball comes so quick.
So I'm just coming back to what you said there. What you're looking for, particularly on the offside, width. Get some width. You only need a bat on it, and it'll fly. And so your defence has got to be tight. You've got to have a stout defence to keep out the good balls. And the other thing is that you're trying to wear him down. He can't put 10 overs in. He's going to be here. He's going to be at me for 5 overs, 30 deliveries.
Right.
So I've got to face 15 deliveries.
So that's
what Hayden used to do, isn't it? He used to say to Shoaib Akhtar, 23 to go.
That's
22 to go. 21
yeah,
to go.
I like that because in your mind you're thinking he's 5 overs and you're being their captain. So he's ball 1. He'll ball another 4. We keep him out. May go off early. He'll come again before lunch. So you sort of being in their captain's shoes as to when the pace man's going to come on again.
Okay, so what is the difference facing out-and-out fast bowling as a 18, 19-year-old and being a 33, 34-year-old?
Well, you're just hoping that your reflexes are still functioning and your eyesight. You're borderline, aren't you, at 34? You're just on the cusp. You're just on the edge. But I can't get away from saying there's an absolute thrill in it, an apprehension. But if you get some, if you've done all right, you don't half feel good.
Were you ever out and out scared?
I wasn't scared, but I had no plan against Garner. Might as well pack up, just put somebody else.
Well, I mean, you weren't alone there because what has he got? The best average, pretty much
ridiculous.
ever.
Yeah. Might be the best white ball bowler of all time with one of the best red ball averages.
I did okay against some of them.
I really like watching older batters against fast bowling. I remember there's a guy called Billy Stanley. Do you remember him, the Australian, who's about 6'10" and bowled at 90 bowling? He should be the best bowler in the world. I still don't know how his career hasn't gone well because when I first saw him, I was like, no one's ever going to be able to play this guy.
He's completed cricket, basically.
He was playing against Kevin Peterson. I think they were at the MCG. And I remember watching KP, and you could just see KP going, I'm going to slog, and it's either going to go over mid-off for 4, or I'm going to go out. Those are my only 2 options here. And there wasn't like, well, maybe I can flick it for 1, or I can, KP was just like, he's too fast, he's too tall. KP must have been about 36, 37 at this stage. His reflexes are gone. And the other one I remember is Marchant de Lange,
yes,
the big South African. He was bowling to Shahid Afridi when Shahid Afridi made his first T20 at Derby. Don't know why all of the things I remember today are from Derby, but the only 2 games I've ever been to, Shahid Afridi and Harmanpreet Kaur. But he was bowling to him, and Afridi was murdering the Derby bowlers. And Marchant de Lange would come on, and he would just go, bop, and just run. It didn't matter where the ball went. The guy at the other end's like, oh my God.
He's not hit about
He hit it straight back to Marchant de Lange at one stage and just took off. He was just like, Shahid Afridi was like, I'm 40. How old would Afridi have been then? Like 44?
Rotate the strike.
Yeah, that wasn't even rotating the strike. That was, I don't care if I'm run out or you're run out. I'm not facing another ball of Marchant de Lange.
And who was the out and out fastest you faced? Tomo?
Tomo.
You faced peak Tomo too. It's worth noting that Tomo had his shoulder injury in about 78, 79.
I'll tell you one we've forgotten. Boah, rapid. Sylvester Clarke.
I used to watch him at Surrey.
Wow. And such a nice chap.
When you went facing him.
Yeah, and he'd come and have a beer with you after the game. And he was rapid. Played for Surrey, played a little bit for the West Indies. A real handful. And so you got him. Like, did Jeff Arnold play at that time? Maybe a bit. Robin Jackman. And then, of course, they got, this is way after I'd finished, Waqar Younis.
My favourite overseas.
Was recruited from Bolton League, I think, Waqar, down to Surrey.
What about the, you had the Michael Holdings, and you had the quiet fast bowlers, and then you had the ones who were they were telling you what they were going to do to you.
Yeah, did the verbals change the...
I honestly can't recall anybody ever saying anything to me. Any fast bowler, any...
Is it
Tomo?
I was going to say, is it possible Tomo said it and you were so far away from him because you backed away to square leg?
Yeah, Tomo, nothing that I would find offensive.
No, but he looked like a talker compared to most guys.
Not really,
You were
Pommy bastard.
You were just a bit before, because Colin Croft has got
Well, Colin played for us at Lancs. Colin never said anything, never said a word.
How did you find him in the nets?
I wouldn't, because I was captain, and I'm trying to get him to bowl rapid, and he couldn't bowl quick all the time. And so I'm not his favourite guy as captain, just laying it down a bit. And I would never, if he's going to the nets, I'm not, because he'll come after me. He will come after me. And he's turned out to be a great mate. He finished up as an airline pilot. Captain Croft speaking. But he was, so Clive Lloyd, out of all of them, would say the most devastating, the most awkward for batters to face was Colin Croft.
Because of the angle, he was almost off the pitch. It was just coming at you.
His front foot went outside all the lines, which is fine.
Yeah.
As long as he's behind the front line, it's his back foot can't go outside the return crease. His back foot was inside, so his front foot went way outside there, and he came from an angle which telling the batter it's coming in.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's going that way. It's pitching and going bang, and quick and bouncy. But he couldn't do county cricket. Too much for him. Too much.
Too many games.
Too many matches. Yeah. He couldn't lift himself. He wasn't physically strong enough to do it.
And that's what you kept telling him before you decided not to go in the nets.
I ain't going anywhere near. I'm loving the net.
Also, of all the bowlers in the world, I wouldn't want to face in the nets. Oh. He'd be so high. I remember the Australians when Mitchell Starc first got picked, and they were used to Mitchell Johnson, right? And they were like, Mitch Johnson, he could be a trouble in it. And then Mitch Starc turned up and they all went, no, because Starc could not, he didn't know where he was aiming it, right? It was just going everywhere.
Well, the other thing about net practice is you feel so enclosed, it's claustrophobic, and he's coming at you and there's nets around you.
And have you ever seen a fast bowler in the nets bowl from behind the crease?
No, they all come way there's no, well, there'll be an umpire, but they don't get called.
They ignore them.
So, they'll ball off about 18 yards.
You've also got a bloke about 5 yards away square cutting it straight into
yeah. It is. I think batting in the nets always terrified me far more than ever playing in a game. Yeah. You get a fast bowler in the game, I'm like, I can handle this. In the nets, I'd be like, oh, I shouldn't be here.
You're looking at the ground as well.
Yeah.
That doesn't look like welcome.
Hey, and these nets are not pristine either.
No.
Oh, yeah, my nets at my club, they had like a curve. And so if the ball was full, you'd be like, okay, that's fine. The minute it got short, everyone was Joel Garner. Come on.